Hi good people, how are you? Good. Where I am it's good evening, but obviously I know my videos are watched from different places, so I'm sure it will be good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything. It's all good. So I am at some airport. Maybe you can see around. I am at the airport. I'm waiting for my flight. I'm waiting for my flight to Nairobi. And there's a flight delay, so I decided why not make a short video for that matter. So first, to say that I'm really happy because the audience is really growing. I just started the other day, and now I have like a good follower. Well, I have 600, which is still okay for a fresher, but I'm really optimistic, and I know that my audience will grow. So I can't wait for it to grow nicely so that I can have a lot of followers. When I say a lot of followers, I mean like over, I don't know, a lot, but we are all manifesting for a lot, but it's all good. Sorry guys, I was a bit distracted. So the reason I decided to make this video, it is because there's something that really pisses me off. Kuboeka, kuwa pissed off, and I thought maybe there are also other people who are pissed off, and maybe they're never able to speak. So the reason why I made this video, it's because it happened today, that thing that pisses me off. And so I'm like, surely must I be keeping quiet or something? But don't mind my face, it's all shiny. It's because I didn't put on makeup. You know, where I am it's really hot, so I just put on sunscreen. But yes, I know that my face is shiny, but it's mine. Anywho, when I read about it, that thing that pisses me off, it's called one-upping. One-upping, and then up like one-upping. And it really happens. It really happens. Even in Kenya, amongst friends, amongst colleagues, amongst people, that. So what is an upping? One-upping basically is whereby when you're giving someone a story, instead of them acknowledging your story, they give you a more sad version of the story. Or how else do I put it? Say for example, you're saying so tukaenda, let's say in politics, tukaenda, wananchi wakatubuia, tukasikia vibaya. So you're sharing your experiences, and that person you're telling the story, instead of them listening to your story and they're like, oh okay, sawa, tumesikia, thank you, they're like, hiyo sio kitu, nyinyi hata hakuna kitu mliona. Mimi nakwambia ile siku tulienda kwa politics, gari yetu ilichomwa, watu wakaibiwa, simu 20 zikaibiwa. Like there's always a competing version of the story. It really pisses me off. Or the other day I was telling my friend was telling me some funny story about another guy. He's suffering, I don't know what. Then I'm like, oh okay. And then he's like, you know, unajua wewe unajua shida ni nini? Unajua shida yenu, amjua shida ni nini? As if to say that now the sad experiences of that guy, they're like the SI unit of trouble and sadness. And it's like, now you have to acknowledge their story. It's better than, and it happens even in other spheres of life. Like you're sharing just a story. So guys, you know, it just happened like this. I'm trying to remember like those relatable experiences. Okay, so we went. I'm telling you, we missed a flight. Let me use this one because I'm in the airport. I missed a flight. I missed another one. When I arrived there was rainfall. Now they can story. And then those one-upping people, they'll start, you just missed a flight ya kutoka Kampala mpaka kwenda Kenya. There's a friend of mine who missed a flight from Damascus, alikuwa anaenda Bahamas, atokee sijui where, Egypt, Cairo, ashike ya kwenda Nigeria. It's like there is always a sad version. Huyo alimiss, alikuwa pande flights 5 ndio afike Nairobi. Kampala si kitu. Kampala ni hapa tu. I feel like different people have stories, and that tabia of people just sharing a sad version of the story that one is giving, it sort of takes away the story. It really pisses me off. Or like when someone dies, like when maybe someone, your friend, your mom, their mom has died and they're really sad, watu wanaanza kumwambia, at least we mama yako amekufa mpoa watu wazima. Unajua kuna mwingine huko kwetu alikufanga watoto wake wakiwa less than 2 years, wameteseka nini. So wanaanza kukwambia now the sad version ya mtu mwenye alikufa when the kids were 2. Okay, we feel sad, but even the story of the one whose parent died when they were like adults is still a story. I don't know. It's like even stories of success. Say someone from a middle class family, they are sharing their struggles. This happened to me. I remember. Ama tu anashare, like someone will share their story at they went to say a school that is here, and then the fortunes of their family turned, so they moved a school that is here. That is their story. That is their suffering story. Then you start, ulitolewa Braeburn ukapelekwa Consolata. Mimi najua kuna mama mwingine huko kwetu Mjaluo, Mkikuyu, sijui Mkisi, alisota. Watoto wake waka drop out school. Walikuwa wanaenda shule mguu tupu. Look, fine, but why do people always look for the boring and the unfortunate version of the story that you're sharing? Sawa, it happened to that mama, pole, but even the one that is sharing how, or even those stories of success, it's like in Kenya, if you ate mchele, if you went to school with shoes, your success story is not legit. Because the success stories these days, they are for hatukuwa na viatu, hatukuwa na baba, tulikuwa tunaenda shule bila viatu, bila breakfast. So you who had breakfast, it's like your story is not a story, because we have formed this attitude of sharing the worst version of it all. Sijui nini. I mean, it really gets into my nerves. And even, actually, there's a friend of mine who has that habit. So, to avoid too much kuchoka and too much back and forth, I just made up a decision. Sitakuwa nampea story. Tutakuwa tunaongea ile on the surface tu. Ile kuongea ile on the surface. Because when you tell her something, she's too mouthy and too loud to acknowledge and to listen. She's always like, hey, me about me. And then most people who like those two tabias, they are also like, it's always about them. Like ukiwapea story, it will be turned in the end, it will be about them. No, me, for me, no, it's not about you. It's just about the story on the table, and it doesn't have to be about you. So basically that's what I think is such a piece of. And even in communication generally, you become people who love one-upping and interrupting and sharing a extreme version of that story. Wamama sijui walienda domestic violence, akaslapiwa na boyfriend wake. Wewe unasema kuslapiwa? Tukigrow up hapa Buhuru, kuna mama mwingine alitoleangwa macho. Okay, both are unfortunate, but who told you to give an extreme version of the story within the story? Like those one-upping people, they're always looking for the story there on top. It really gets into my nerves. So it doesn't make you a good person to communicate with, and it doesn't make your stories any better, really. So I just hope we can be better communicators and better friends, so that we can learn to listen to others. Like me, I try to listen, to understand, not necessarily to respond. Because people are always talking all the time. But even more when they are sharing an extreme version of the story, as if it's a competition. I really wish we can be better friends, where we just talk without looking like we are competing, or without looking like we are looking for the extreme version of the story, really. Because in the end, it's just about sharing. It's not competing. It's not competing about who had it worse. It's not competing about who struggled more than the other. It's not competing about who is better than the other. It's not competing about who had it worse. It's just stories, and stories are stories, and they're stories. Do you guys feel me? Like, do you hate those one-upping people? Do you feel like it's such a piece off when someone gives you a competing version of the story, even when you just want to just share a story? Let me know what you feel in the comments. Please subscribe. Pass my regards to your family, and Merry Christmas. I really hope I'll be able to catch this flight, by the way, because I'm homesick. Needless to say that I have no Christmas plans, but I'm sure something will give, because I even didn't know that I was going to leave the country, but I left somehow for a short holiday. Pimples aside, I think I'm glowing. The lipstick is not lipsticking, but if we die, we die. So thank you, good people. Cheers.